Hello again, everybody. Great to have you along for this edition of Journey Through Sports and Life. My name is Scott Murray.
I'm Marjorie Herrera-Lewis.
And I'm Marnie Schneider.
And we're going to be here with you in the weeks ahead, sharing with you some incredible stories about some people that I'm sure you'll well know. We're talking about some of the great leaders from past, present, and, of course, we'll look into the future as well. But in the meantime, I would like you to meet my two co-hosts. There's going to be all three of us each and every week, and we're excited about that. And I know these two young ladies well, but Marjorie, tell the world who you might be and some of the great history you've had in sports and life.
Well, Scott and I met many years ago when I was a Dallas Cowboys beat writer.
Boy, it is a long time ago.
It's been a while,
She was one of Tom Landry's favorites, the immortal, the legendary Hall of Fame coach of the Dallas Cowboys from 1960 through 1989.
That's right.
Yeah.
We had a
through 88, retired in 89.
89, right. We had a great working relationship, and I covered the Cowboys for several years with the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. They went over to the Dallas Morning News. Right. So I also am the author of a book called When the Men Were Gone.
This is something special. Very quickly, tell us what that's about.
Well, it's based on a true story. It's a novel, but it's based on a true story of a woman who coached football in Brownwood, Texas during World War II. Incredible journey and her experience. So that's what the book is about.
And is there not a movie or something in the...
It's in the works.
That's
Hopefully
what I thought.
we'll be seeing something out there pretty soon.
Well, I hope so. And it'll be above and beyond. It really will. So great to have you along, my friend. Thanks. And my other friend right over here, Marnie, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Tell the world about your incredible history.
Well, certainly. Thank you. My grandfather owned a professional football team.
Which might be not the Cowboys.
No, not the Cowboys. Close, though. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
I know. No, I'm the one who should probably say, excuse me.
Don't leave the
There
room,
were lots
please.
of tears.
Our guest is a little out of the control at the end. We'll explain why shortly.
And my mom, Susan, is the first and only female general manager of a professional football team. And I am writing a series of kids' books called Football Freddy and Fumble the Dog, Game Day in the USA, which highlights all of our great football cities.
And they're great books, too. You ought to check them out.
Thank you.
Really, they're above and beyond.
Yes.
And very quickly, my name is Scott Murray, and for 30 years, I was a television anchor, broadcaster for sports, first in Washington, D.C., but most of those times in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. And that's where I've called home for 4 decades. Great place. Dallas Cowboys, lots of great things. But, of course, now have a production company with my son called Murray Media World. So that's our story. But in the meantime, we're going to be back with our special guest today. And we'll tell you who he is right after this. Welcome back. I'm Scott Murray, along with Marnie and Marjorie. Journey Through Sports and Life, the name of the program. And today our special guest is a fellow by the name of Drew Pearson. That's right, the original number 88, as he's come to be known. And he has an incredible legacy. Of course, he was in the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in Canton, Ohio, back in August. But let me tell you a little something about this gentleman before he says hello and joins us. Born and raised in South River, New Jersey, played wide receiver on a football team that had Joe Theismann, the former Redskin, as his quarterback. And when Theismann went on to Notre Dame for his collegiate career, Drew took over as the quarterback. He accepted a football scholarship from the University of Tulsa. Upon graduation in '73, he was signed on as an undrafted free agent by the Dallas Cowboys and made the team as a third-team wide receiver because of his special teams play. Cowboys most impressed with what he might be able to do. Then in 1974, led the team in receptions for the first of 5 years in a row. And then it was December 28, 1975. It was up in Minnesota. I'm sure you well remember this if you happen to be a Cowboys fan. That was the day he was on the receiving end of what they have come to be known as the original Hail Mary pass, a pass from Roger Staubach. And Drew Pearson took it in for the touchdown, and they went on and continued on in the playoffs. Pearson helped the Cowboys to 3 Super Bowl appearances and a victory in Super Bowl 12. Remember that, against the Denver Broncos? That was back in 1978. And Drew was known as Mr. Clutch for his numerous clutch catches in game-winning situations. Was chosen to be a member of the All-Decade team. That was back in 1970s. And then last August was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, the man known as the original number 88. Ladies and gentlemen, Marnie, Marjorie, there he is, Drew Pearson. Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm great, Scott. Thank you for that great intro. I appreciate that.
Well, it was just like you wrote it, so I thought, what the heck?
Well, you read it well. Thank you.
Well, we talk about the Pro Football Hall of Fame, all three of us. This trio right here says, congratulations, long overdue.
Absolutely.
That is just great stuff. How about that, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, I waited a long time, but when you finally get it, you say, wow, it's worth the wait, because it's such a great honor.
Oh, what
You know,
a
I'm
thrill.
not bragging, or I'm just saying I'm in about 9 or 10 Hall of Fames, from the Pop Warner Football Hall of Fame, from the Pop Warner Football Hall of Fame to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And nothing gets the recognition, with all due respect to those other Hall of Fames, nothing gets you recognition and respect like the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And I've felt that respect since I've been inducted.
Well, I tell you what, as we said, long overdue but well deserved. You realize next year will be half a century since you went to Tulsa.
Wow. No,
Isn't that
I
something?
didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for
thank you.
reminding me.
Yeah,
I just had a
right.
birthday
So, I mean,
now.
but really, that's an incredible legacy.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you've got the little.
Yeah, I got the Hall of Fame emblem there. Of course, Hall of Fame underwear on. Y'all want to see that? No, never mind.
We call that too much information here on
that's
the
too
program.
much. And I got the Hall of Fame ring, Scott.
Oh,
Yeah,
girls,
that's
you
a
want to try
beauty.
that
Pretty
on?
cool.
Yeah.
And I know ladies
Oh.
like to see diamonds, so there's a lot of diamonds in here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Check that
is
out.
Look at
nice.
that.
And it's
Yeah.
so heavy, too.
Isn't it heavy?
Yeah,
Look at my finger
beautiful.
when I take it off. You know, it
I
sags.
don't know. if I can try it on,
Oh,
let's
absolutely.
see what
yeah.
happens.
Feel
Well,
like a Hall
yeah,
of Famer.
see?
You know,
don't
I
you
tell
feel
you
like
what,
a Hall of Famer
I
now?
like that.
You
I
could,
like that.
You could forget using that as a ring, Marjorie. You should use that as a necklace. Look at the size of that thing.
that is.
Imagine some of the linemen that are in the hall.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
gosh.
gosh.
Their ring,
That's
mine is
beautiful.
like a 10 and a half.
Is that a
11.
Super Bowl ring there
Yeah,
too?
this is a Super
Well,
Bowl
I wouldn't
ring.
mind trying that one on as well.
12.
Stand by,
Yes.
folks. We'll be with you shortly.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Wow.
Super Bowl 12, we beat
These-
the Denver Broncos
These are
that year.
nice.
Well, as they're
Okay,
trying the
wait,
rings
let's
on,
see.
one thing come to mind is the highlight over and above being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you had to pick one thing, I talked about the Hail Mary, December 28th, 1975. You talk about Super Bowl 12 back in the 1978. How about it? What comes to mind is there one thing that stands out, the incredible things that you had a chance to do with Roger Staubach or anybody else?
You know, Scott, the most incredible thing was making the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
You know, coming in as an undrafted free agent, $14,500 base salary, $150 signing bonus.
$150.
Yes.
Wow.
And they paid me in cash.
Oh.
Okay.
It costs you more for
720s
parking
and a 10.
at AT&T Stadium to see a Cowboys game, $150 up.
I know. I've made, well, I don't want to get into that, but,
That
you know,
was probably
so.
an incredible $150 though, just to get that. Like you
Oh,
say,
at that
making
time,
the
it
team.
was big. That's why I asked them to pay me in cash, because I needed it. I couldn't cash a check.
But even then,
I didn't
what
have
a
it
thrill!
banking,
Yeah.
you know, or anything.
No.
So,
Wow.
They paid me in cash, and I was married at the time, and went back to the college apartment and told the ex-wife now that we only got $75. That's why we're divorced. So, but anyway, you know, it wasn't about the money, obviously. It was about that opportunity.
Right.
I could have signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Green Bay Packers as an undrafted free agent. And I chose Dallas. And the big reason is Tom Landry. All right. And he said that free agents, once they get in the training camp, they're just like everybody else. Everybody else gets an equal shot to make the team. If you're there, you're going to get an equal shot. And they proved that because they had free agents make the team. Cliff Harris, who went from Washita Baptist College to the Dallas Cowboys to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, was a classmate of you in the 2021 team.
That's
Or
right.
class.
And, you know, and I said, wow, Cliff Harris can come from Washita Baptist and make the Dallas Cowboys. Me coming from Tulsa might have a shot.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
And so I just chose Dallas, and it was the best decision I made in my young life at that time. At Tulsa, we didn't have much success. 3 losing seasons in 4 years, 3 head coaches in 4 years, 3 years of probation in 4 years.
Wow.
So when you're in a negative environment like that, you as an individual don't really have a chance to prosper and show your abilities to the full extent. In 2 years after I moved from quarterback to receiver, I caught 55 passes in 2 years. You know, guys do that in 3 weeks now,
Right.
you know, in the NFL. So, you know, that environment was very negative. But then I go to the Cowboys. All of a sudden, it's Tom Landry and Tex Schramm and Gil Brandt and all these great coaches and then all these players are playing with, Hall of Famers, guys that end up being Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And man, because of that, now if you're not smart enough to learn from that and prosper from that situation, then you're missing the point. And so I was able to learn and pick up everything. And they not only taught me how to be a good football player, Coach Landry can coach you up, okay? If you got character, intelligence, passion, and talent, he could coach you up to be a good football player. And so he coached me up. But It was those guys in the locker room that taught me how to be a professional. The way they went about their business, the way they did things, the way they approached the game, serious about things. No nonsense once we hit that locker room, And that taught you how to be a professional. And that carried on for the rest of the, 11 years of my career.
But what about the beginning? What about the foundation? How did you even come to play football in the first place? And what kind of support did you have as you were growing as an athlete through your high school years?
Well, football, sports in my family, I had 3 brothers, 3 sisters. All the boys played sports. So I had an older brother that played Pop Warner football. He was on the Edison Jets. So I said, before every game, Pop Warner football game, my dad would fix my brother a pregame meal. Steak,
Nice.
baked potato, salad with Thousand Island dressing, bread with butter. Oh, man. While he's eating that pregame meal, other kids over here are eating black-eyed peas and lima beans and stuff like that. So I said, Dad, if I start playing football, do I get the steak and baked potato and all that?
I
He
love
said, yes.
it.
So I started playing at 7 years old.
Wow.
And I was so proud. My brother was such a big deal on the Jets. I couldn't walk to practice with him, okay? I had to walk behind him, okay? Because he was on the Edison Jets, and I'm coming through the smaller guys. We were called the missiles, the Edison missiles. So, but anyway, that's how I got my start. And I was so small, they didn't have football pants to fit me. I wore jeans. They just rolled them up and stuck the pads inside the jeans.
Really?
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, that's when I started. Then I went to South River High School, and South River High School is very much tradition as far as football is
Right.
concerned. I am not the first Hall of Famer at a South River High School in South River, New Jersey.
Wow.
There's a guy named Alex Wojciechowicz that played for Fordham University with Vince Lombardi, one of the 7 blocks of granite, and then was drafted number 1 by the Detroit Lions as a center and nose guard. Okay.
Oh,
What year
really?
might that have been?
He was he was inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1968.
Wow.
Wow. I
So
want to
he's
hear
been
more
there a while.
about this.
Yeah, he's-
But
Isn't that
see, you
something?
understand, in South River, the nickname of the town is called Little Poland, okay?
Mhm.
So you had a lot of Wojciechowicz, you had a lot of Skarzinskis. My favorite receiver is Scotty Skarzinski.
Wow.
So everybody called me Drewski, okay? I was Drewski, okay? And so, but we had great success. When Joey was the quarterback and I played wide receiver and safety, we were undefeated. We were 9-0. We only played 9 games then.
You're talking about Joe Theismann.
Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
And we were unscored upon for 6 of those games. We were really good. And
That's-
if you're a
that's
sophomore playing varsity for South River High School,
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so-
Stand back, huh?
And then Joey left, and they had no quarterback. So I would play, but before he left, I would play the varsity game on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, the whole game, all right?
Mhm.
Come out, then play Monday after school and play the JV game at
Oh.
quarterback to
Wow.
groom to replace Joey. And so when he
Unbelievable.
left, I moved into quarterback. My junior year, we were 6-2-1. My senior year, we were 8-0-1. Then I made All-State, and
The rest is history.
then I got some opportunities to go
Yeah,
to college.
That's
and
fantastic.
I chose Tulsa, and that's another story in
Yeah.
itself.
Well, hold that thought because we're going to be coming back, Mr. Drewski. Journey Through Sports and Life is the name of the program. We're coming right back. Welcome back once again. Scott Murray along with Marnie and Marjorie, and this is a Journey Through Sports and Life. And our special guest, the man that calls himself the original 88 for good reason, a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's right, number 88, Drew Pearson, our special guest. Marnie, why don't you pick it up and take it from where we just left it off a moment ago?
Yes, thank you, Scott. All right, so Drew, you mentioned that your dad had prepared this incredible meal, a pregame meal. How, what was his inspiration for that? Like, how did he decide that this is what he was going to do to his boys
Yeah.
for the game?
Yeah, my dad was always into sports. He played a little sports himself, but my mom actually was the better athlete. Don't tell
Oh.
my dad.
Yes.
But he was really into sports. And the way we kept up with sports back then is through the newspaper. And my dad got every newspaper. I was named after a political syndicated columnist out
Really?
of Washington, D.C., who wrote the Washington Merry-Go-Round. And he had a syndicated column that the North Star Ledger in New Jersey picked up. And my dad used to read that religiously. And that's who I was named after. His name was
Wow.
Drew Pearson. No middle name or nothing, just Drew Pearson. and I was named after him. And I had a chance not to meet him because he had passed away, but I met his personal secretary when we went to play the Redskins in D.C. one game, and she met me at the hotel, gave me some mementos of his, a St. Christopher medal that he always wore around his neck, and his stopwatch that he timed his presentations with. So I was named after him. So we got every newspaper there was, the Home News, the Star Ledger, the New York Daily News, the New York Post, and I read them religiously. Not the business section, not the front page. I turned right back to the back page and read the sports. So I knew everything about sports. I was just a sports guy, but my dad was as well. So coming through, we're going to play sports, all right? Mm-hmm. Got in high school, my dad said, either go to practice after school or go to work, all right? We'd rather go to practice. Right. All the boys went to practice. So anyway, that's my dad was just into it, and I just got into it, and that's all I ever wanted to do. At 13 years old, I used to go play baseball. Baseball was my favorite sport. I used to go play baseball with my cousin, who was a lot older, was an adult, had kids. I was going with them as the bat boy, okay? And just to be around the baseball and be around sports. But this was on Sunday morning. He would pick me up, and I would have to sneak out because that's church day, okay? And I'd go, I'm the bat boy. Well, one game, they didn't have enough guys, so they stuck me out in right field. I made a great catch. I got 2 hits. Next thing I'm on the team.
Wow, that's great.
But I had to convince my mom to be able to go play on Sundays. Mm-hmm. So I came home one time, and she was mad. She whooped me. I went and played anyway the next Sunday. I came home again. She whooped me. I went and played again. She said, son, this must really mean something to you. And so she said, if that means that much to you, we have to find another day for you to go to church. So I used to go to church on Wednesday night, okay?
Oh, okay.
But anyway, that was our family. And my older brother set the pace. You know, he was played high school football, got a scholarship to play at Western Kentucky. Then he got drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals as a defensive back. Didn't make the team, got cut on the last cut, but ended up being an excellent high school football coach. So it was all ingrained in all the boys in the family. And I just picked up on that.
So at what point when you were in high school, did you feel like you did have an opportunity to play at the college level? When you started to feel like college is going to work out for me?
Yeah, actually my junior year when I'm playing quarterback, you know, I had a pretty good season there and started getting some feelers and from coaches. So that gave me a little confidence. And then the coaches are telling me, hey, you got the skills, you know, keep working hard and doing what you've been doing and try to get better and better each and every year, and you might have a shot. Well, you know, by the time my senior year, a lot of coaches or a lot of colleges came calling. And the reason I chose Tulsa, because the coach for Michigan State was recruiting me initially. He was the defensive coordinator. He had the New Jersey territory. So he's recruiting me to go to Michigan State. During that process, he gets the head coaching job at Tulsa.
Oh,
that's how
it?
I found out about. I said,
okay.
"Where is it, sir?" I thought it was in Louisiana. Tulane? He said, "No, it's in Tulsa." But anyway, Oklahoma. But anyway, I went down for a visit, man, and it was during basketball season, and they had a great basketball team. Bobby Bingo Smith, who drafted and went to Cleveland Cavaliers, played a number of years in the NBA, and the fairgrounds. Remember the fairgrounds was rocking?
Absolutely.
And I said, oh, this is a great atmosphere. This is all. They hooked me up in a suite at the Camelot Hotel.
Did they?
They had a party in my suite. I could hardly talk. I'm so, so shy. I'm in the corner over here. Everybody's partying in my suite. No. But anyway, then they invited me back down for another visit. I went down, and as it came down between Tulsa and Nebraska, and Nebraska was really hot on me. There was 3 guys in New Jersey they wanted. And I was one of those guys. They got 2. I was the only one they didn't get.
Oh, okay.
And when I chose Tulsa, Nebraska, everybody thought, something must be up. Okay. They said, let's give this guy a urine test or something. He had pretty good grades in school, so he's pretty smart. But no, it was the best opportunity for me that I saw at that time.
Yeah.
And my dad was very skeptical about the decision, because the racial relationships and things going on in Tulsa.
That's true. That was a southern school compared to New Jersey.
Remnants of the Tulsa massacre and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly right.
Not too long ago, before I got there, they had their first African-American player And so there's a lot of tension in this town when my class came in, because it was an influx. This coach from Michigan State who's all recruiting all these guys to go from Pennsylvania and Ohio and everywhere to go to Michigan State. We're now coming to Tulsa.
Oh.
So there's a lot of racial tension there. It's a tough situation. But, you know, once we got on the playing field, that was kind of the ball field. That was kind of equalizer, you know, black, white, red, or green. We all got together, and that was pretty cool there. So it was a great experience at Tulsa. Not athletically, like I said, we didn't have much success, but academically, wow, what a great education.
Oh, no kidding.
You know, and that's
Yeah.
most important to me, because as soon as I open my mouth to speak, people are going to know if you're educated or not. And that's most important. And, you know, because you can do that, you get opportunities like Scott gave me when I, you know, retired, or even when I was playing with the Cowboys. I was doing stuff with Scott in TV business and stuff like that.
Friday afternoon, 6 o'clock news. Drew's on
I was
there.
right there.
Monday night, he's right there. Monday
I don't
morning
know if you remember
quarterback.
that time.
Here he
I
is.
remember.
Scott.
Yeah.
I did this report, and I said we kicked their butt or something on the air, and I got back and the calls kept coming. He said butt on TV and all that. And I'm like, oh, Scott, I messed up. He said, no, that's good. That's good. They responded to you.
That's edgy. Yeah, a little
edgy.
little edgy.
That's right.
So
Are we
a
going to
little
bleep
locker
that?
room
The
talk.
lessons I
our
learned from
show?
my mentor right here.
I don't think here in the 21st century we have to
We have to worry
bleep
about that
no.
now, right.
No bleeping on the
Yeah,
butt.
that
butt
ain't nothing
yeah.
now. But anyway, so that's pretty much story. And, you know,
Well, you talk about kids in college and playing off of what Marjorie just asked you. How about you? Here it is. I mean, literally, as we said a moment ago, almost half a century later.
wow.
What about it? What would you talk to a young, student, now women or man, about being a student athlete? The importance of the education, yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
But then the opportunity to play sports and move on and maybe be lucky enough to play professional sports. What is the advice you'd share with an 8-year-old or an 18-year-old about the journey that you were a part of?
Well, I got grandsons in that range,
There
Scott.
you go. Well, there you
18
go.
to 8 to 22.
Okay.
I got 2 playing college football.
Well, what have you told them, or what do
Yeah.
you hope that they learn from it and then move forward with whatever you shared
The
with them?
thing I tell them most, Scott, is slow down. All right, this society we're in now, it's all about instant. You know, you press something, you got information, this and that. You know, I said, slow down. Let stuff come to you. Everybody wants something to happen so fast in our lives nowadays. They don't want to go through the process.
Good
They
point.
don't want to respect the process. It's the journey, it's the process that makes
so
us what we
true.
are.
Yes.
You know, that process and journey to the Pro Football Hall of Fame is my story. And when I look back now, yeah, there was challenges, adversity, taking a road less traveled and all that kind of stuff. But when I look back now, I don't think I would do it any different, you know, because of the things I learned along the way that makes me the man that I am today. So that's what I try to tell them. Slow down, man. Everybody wants everything to happen right away, you know? And so, you know, I got one at the University of Colorado playing up there, and one at Southeastern Oklahoma State, grandsons playing up there, and others playing in high school. I live through them now, and I see them doing their thing. And, oh, Grandpa, you're old school, and all that. I said, well, old school ain't that bad, okay?
Yeah.
You look at it, you know, and it isn't that bad. So, but that's the number one thing I try to get across to them. And also the importance of education, how that could lead you to wherever you want to go. Without that, you could play all the football in the world, okay? But if you don't have the education, like I said with Coach Landry, intelligence was very important. You know, that's why he matriculated to Tulsa to find me, because it was Ivy League of the Midwest, right?
That's true. Absolutely.
So, all right, so
That's
Drew.
great. That's
what-
great.
So being
I tell you what, hold that thought.
Okay.
Journey Through Sports and Life is the name of the program. Drew Pearson, our special guest. That's right, the Pro Football Hall of Famer. We're back after this. Once again, we welcome you back to this inaugural edition of Journey Through Sports and Life. My name is Scott Murray.
Marjorie Herrera-Lewis.
And Marnie Schneider.
And Marnie, it's all yours. Take it away, my
All
friend.
right, well, thank you. All right, so Drew, being
Yes.
old school,
Mm-hmm.
people don't realize that professional football players were professional football players on Sunday,
Yeah.
but then they also did other things the other days of the week. So what were your odd jobs? What did you do when you weren't playing professional football to earn some extra money?
Yeah, we had to work every off season because the money we made wasn't enough. And then, you know, even if you had a career, you knew you're going to have to do something after you got through playing because you knew the money you were making wasn't going to last you the rest of your life. So we all worked, you know. After my rookie year, I caught a touchdown in the playoff game the last week in December, and it was against the Los Angeles Rams, an 83-yard touchdown. It was the second one in the game. I went to Jersey after that to soak up all the adulation from family and everything for a couple days, and then came back and got with Harvey Martin, Billy Joe Dupree, because we came in together. We all rookies together. And we knew we needed extra income to get through the off season. That money I made, that $14,500 in my base salary, was paid out through the season, almost $1,000 a game after taxes, less than that.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
and don't forget that $150 signing bonus,
and
right?
that signing
That's
bonus was gone. Spent on Boone's Farm as we celebrated the signing. But, you know, we knew that we had to work in the off season. So we went to Zales Corporation. They had a sporting goods store named Coleman Bourne Sporting Goods Store. We asked for jobs in the sporting goods store, and they gave us jobs. I don't even know how much money we were making. Didn't matter. It was some kind of income we were getting to supplement. And I was a sports guy. They had me in sports at North Park Mall. And Harvey over there in North Park, he's in shoes and 6'6", trying to put shoes on people. And he hated it. He hated it. He hated it. He said,
did.
Drew, I don't know if I can last. And Billy Joe was on the other side of town. But we had to do those kind of things. One off season, I worked for an oil and gas company. And that was the best deal because that's when oil and gas was flowing in the area here and in state of Texas and Learjetting all over the place.
Wow.
I worked for an attorney. I did all kinds of different things just to prepare for life after football. But, you know, Coach Landry, the way he coached us on the field was one thing, but in the locker room and in meetings, he coached us up to prepare us for life after football. Everything was run like a business, you know, and if you're smart enough, you picked up on that. I learned all my business acumen and knowledge from being in that Cowboy organization for 11 years as a player and 1 year as a coach. And after all, you know, all that time, X's and O's, I got that. What else did I do with all that time? I'm watching Gil Brandt. I'm watching Tex Schramm. Best marketing guy I ever met, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
no
Gil
kidding.
Brandt, the best negotiator I ever met. Tom Landry, the best manager of a team I ever met.
Right.
You know, Clint Murchison, the owner that put them all together. If you don't learn anything from all that, then you're missing the point of being there. So we had to do that while we played. And that's why when we made our transition into life after football, it was pretty easy for us. You know, Roger Staubach was already working in the real estate business. Robert Newhouse on Thursday would leave practice. He wouldn't even shower. I said, House, you stink, man. Go shower. He said, I got a class at UT Dallas. I got to get out of here, you know?
Wow.
House was a Bell's bondsman while he played with the Dallas Cowboys.
Was he
okay?
really?
Yeah, we did all these
I
kind
didn't
of
know
things. To
that.
I
prepare
never
for-
realized that.
Yeah, he would
wow.
go down to bail people out after practice and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
So we did all these kind of things to prepare for life after football. And Coach Landry used to say, if you're fortunate enough and blessed enough, you'll have a lot of life after football. And so
That's
we
amazing.
So the players nowadays that don't have to get a job while they're in the off season, what are they losing out on? What are they missing out on?
expanding their horizon, expanding their abilities, taking advantage of that college education that they got. You know, hopefully that even though they had the money, they still want to go to work and still do things differently to prepare for life. Because you retire from the game at what, 33, 34, 35?
Right.
Come on, there's a lot of life if you're blessed enough to live. So, you know, what do you want to do? Just sit around and play golf all the time? Well, eventually that's going to get boring. You know, you want to do something. So take advantage of your college degree. And if you don't have your degree, go back and get that degree because you're going to eventually going to need that. But also, if you got a family and kids, you know, you got to set that pace, that tone, that precedent. You know, if we go to college, we're getting a degree. You know, all my brothers and sisters, we all went to college. We all got degrees because my oldest brother set that precedent and my dad made him set that precedent, and we all followed after that.
So how old are you when the steaks quit? Did you get your steaks dinners through high school, or when did that stop at home?
No. Yeah, no. They started. My mom took over. okay, because my dad and mom split up and all that. But my mom took over. She carried the buck the rest of the way.
Oh, okay.
And then
Interesting,
my
yeah.
brother had another brother, younger than two younger brothers, younger than me, that played for South River High School. That got the steak and baked potato too.
I just love that story.
It is great. Well, a lot of women, a lot of mothers are typically in charge of their children's athletics.
Mhm.
And I think that your mom taking an active role in your sports and really mentoring you as being an athlete, both on and off the field, obviously, I think really made a positive impact on you.
Yeah, mom was great, man. I was blessed to have my mom for as long as I had, and she said a lot of the, like I said, my mom and dad got divorced, and she took 7 kids and moved from Edison to South River, and she made it work. And I got so much respect for her, and but she was a tremendous athlete. When I was in the Little League, we had a parents players against the parents softball game. And my mom got up there and hit 2 over the fence. I'm like, whoa.
That is cool.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that.
the first time I saw her do anything athletically. And she's like, whoa. I said, now I know where I got it from.
Wow.
Get out
Dad,
the way.
Dad was doing all that claiming, But mom was the one. Yeah.
Wow.
Blessed to have the family base that we had. And, I got one sister left out of all that. So she's an older sister. Yeah, she's blessed. She's a nurse. She's in a hospital administration business. Came through as a nurse, so she's been going through all the COVID stuff and all that,
Oh, yeah.
and dealing with her staff and stuff like that. And it's been a
Rough time.
tough deal.
Yeah. So you said that you learned a lot along the way. What's one thing that you wish you knew when you were getting started, when you were growing up, that might have made it a little bit of a smoother ride, or anything that you just wish someone had told you when it was
Well,
starting?
I just wish I had a little eye to the future. Maybe I wouldn't have worried so much.
Oh.
All the things. Now, coming through and being in Tulsa, it was tough. I started to leave after the first semester. It was a rough experience there, but I stuck it out. And so you think about all the things you're able to overcome, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I would change anything, but all the things I was able to do and the way I came through, I just respect how I came through.
Let me ask you this and play off of what Marjorie just asked. If you had a chance to be playing today, aside from the money, it's a no-brainer. I mean, $150 signing bonus versus the millions these fellows are getting today. Aside from that, take that out of the equation. Would you rather play now, or would you rather have played when you played?
Then there's no question.
For what reason?
Unity, consistency, continuity.
Just
we had all
just
that.
the family.
Yeah. I mean, 11 years I'm playing in the huddle with same guys, same coach, same system, That's why the quality of the game was so good back then. That's why TV wanted to latch on. That's why corporate sponsors wanted to latch on to it, because the quality of the game was so good. And the reason is because you kept players, you developed players, you kept them in the system. All them players, the Steelers, were so great because they were the same player year in and year out. The same coach year in and year out. The Vikings, how about the Vikings? Bud Grant never brought in any rookies. They're the same players. And because of that continuity, like when I came in as a rookie, I think I had it after making it through that first week of rookie camp. And then the veterans came in. Oh, my God. They're like popping in and out of huddle and doing things like, man, they never left. And you're like, oh, my God, I'll never catch up to these guys. So it's that continuity, that same thing. Now in the game, you develop. Now they're talking about Michael Gallup, good receiver, but can we afford to keep him?
Mm-hmm.
You developed them for 3 years. You can't keep them. The NFL needs to change that structure, the salary cap structure, so that there's some way that you can keep players to make the game better. That's why you see, I get on a soapbox sometimes about what I see out there on the field, the quality of play, because guys are out there that aren't necessarily the best players. They fit the salary cap. That's why they're out there.
Well, let me interrupt you. I saw you comment about Dak and his performance in the game that it was the last game of the season for the Cowboys that they lost.
Right.
Just your thoughts going forward with the team.
disappointed the way they played in that game against San Francisco. San Francisco came ready to play. They understood this is the playoffs,
Right.
all right? And what we're going to do is establish our presence initially. And they did. They popped us, and we took it. We kept taking it. We finally woke up later in the game. We started doing things. We should have done that all game. We would be talking about next week, But in that final drive, back in the day, Coach Landry didn't call the Hail Mary. Roger Staubach called the Hail Mary play, all right?
Yeah.
We didn't have time to have Coach Landry sending the play in a 2-minute situation. Coach Landry had confidence that he coached up Roger Staubach enough that he can handle that situation. So what I was saying about Dak is that if you have confidence enough to give a guy $40 million a year, have confidence in him enough that he can handle this 2-minute situation. And if he doesn't make the right calls, live with it. But at least you did it the right way. You calling a play, a quarterback draw with 14 seconds?
Yeah.
Roger would have no.
Right.
He would have waved that off. But Dak's confused because they got the earphones, one guy's saying something in one ear and another ear, but the last thing they should have told him, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, go down.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Count it.
Yeah.
1,001,
Save some time.
1,002. Save time.
Yeah.
But anyways, those kind of situations.
Okay.
Clinton Longley in the game on Thanksgiving,
Oh,
when
yeah.
I caught that
Yep.
pass. Coach Landry didn't call that last play. I called it. You know what Clint said? Fine, run it.
Wow.
Danny White, the 2 touchdowns in the last seconds against the Atlanta Falcons. Coach Landry didn't call any of those plays. Danny White called those plays. What I'm saying is if you have that leader, coach him up to be the leader and handle those situations like that.
Yeah.
And if he fails, Roger didn't always come through. If he fails, then he learns. And now when a situation arises again, man, he knows how to handle it.
He's going to be even better.
He'll be even better.
I hate to say this, but we've got 1 minute left. So in 1 minute, my
Good,
friend.
because I'm like getting fired up.
Right.
Yeah, I know you.
Well, you
It's
made
game
me
time.
wait.
It's game time.
Control me, ladies.
I hear what you're saying about giving
Yeah.
the quarterback or giving the players the
Yeah.
right to do it. Obviously, being on the other side of it in the Philadelphia, owner's box, there were lots of tears coming from Philadelphia in those last 2-minute drives. Because suddenly the Eagles were losing the game. Like, how does that happen? But consistent and comprehensive play from the Cowboys, that's how it's done.
She's absolutely right. She's absolutely
It was
right.
a different time. Wow.
30 seconds. What you want your legacy to be? Drew Pearson, what is it?
What I want my legacy to be is what it is. If you don't know what it is, look it up, follow it, and if you can learn and appreciate it, live it. I'm a blessed man. I am so blessed. I'm happy, and life is good.
Incredible legacy, and that is Drew Pearson. Some final thoughts when we come back. Welcome back to our final segment of Journey Through Sports and Life. Marjorie, take us home, my friend.
All
Drew Pearson,
right.
go for it.
Well, Drew, you've talked a lot about how Tom Landry prepared you for work after football.
Yes.
You worked during the off season. What are you doing now? Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm doing a little bit of everything, I'm trying to slow down, but after this Hall of Fame induction and recognition, things have really ramped up. There's been a lot of opportunities. One of the best things I've been able to do is, on behalf of the Hall of Fame, is to promote the vaccine. I've been all over the country doing that. I've been to the state capitol, been in the Governor Abbott's office, and because of that, promoting that. But I still have a restaurant at DFW Airport, Drew Pearson Sports 88, Terminal E, near Gate 5. Stop by and have a Hail Mary, Bloody Mary. You won't care if you miss your flight. Or if you get canceled or delayed.
Yeah, exactly.
Just hang out over there. But other than that, I just live through my kids and my grandkids. I have a beautiful family, 2 daughters and a son. Both daughters live around in the area, Frisco, McKinney. My son is in LA, graduate of Loyola Marymount and stayed out there. 7 grandkids. And so life is good. I'm just enjoying myself. The best thing about waiting for the Hall of Fame, the 38 years I had to wait, is the Lord blessed me with health.
Oh.
Okay? I can understand what it was about. I can go up there. I don't have to have nobody take me up there. I can do it on my own. I can make my own speech. They offer me a speechwriter. I said, I work with Scott Murray. I don't need no speechwriter. I know how to condense that in 8 minutes. Right, Scott? That reports we had to do.
Yeah, that's great.
Drew, that's a little too long. Cut it down.
Yeah. He learned well. He learned well.
So they offered a speech. I said, I'll write my own speech. But I was able to do that, present it, and accept it. But that's the blessing, to have that health and then benefit after, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm 71 now. You know, how much longer do I have to appreciate this?
I thought you were 88.
No,
Oh no, that.
no, not yet. But it's the legacy you leave.
Yeah.
It's something there that outlives you, and that's what the Hall of Fame is all about. So
And
I'm just satisfied where everything's going, and
Well deserved.
just
That's
to
fantastic.
let you know, I'm
Yep.
single, and hut, and my phone number is 867-54321.
Thank you, Drew. And we got 20 seconds here. Let me also say, on behalf of everybody here in the great state of Texas and around the country, he does more charity stuff that you never hear about. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So wonderful having
Yep.
you here on the show.
Thank
today.
them
sure
and
was.
Yes.
Hut. All
It
right.
sure was. It sure was.
Fantastic.
Well,
That's great.
for Marnie and Marjorie, I'm Scott Murray. Till next time on this inaugural edition of Journey Through Sports and Life. Thanks, everybody. Say goodbye, girls.
Goodbye.
The M&M
Thank you.
girls.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good night.
All right.
Thanks, Drew.
Thank you, Scotty. Always a pleasure.